Aviation Learning Team. I'm Nikki.
I'm Karen.
And I'm Sue. And
welcome to Wartime Christmas.
We decided this year, as you can't come out to us because of coronavirus, we'll come to you instead in your school via the small screen. So we hope you enjoy the day here with us at East Kirkby. Okay, so welcome to East Kirkby. You might think it's 2020 now, but as soon as we go through that door, we're going to be stepping back in time to September 1939. Now, something has just happened. Do you know what it is? That's right. Hitler has declared war on us. And this war was to last for 6 very long years until 1945. We're going to find out what it was like at Christmas for children like you as soon as we go through that door. Dig for Victory was the campaign that the government introduced to encourage everybody to grow their own fruit and vegetables in their back gardens. This helped with rationing massively because you would always have some food. We can grow lots of food in our back gardens nowadays. Can you think of some things that you can grow? You could grow potatoes, carrots, onions, all sorts of vegetables. And as for fruit, there's apples on the trees, there's pears, all sorts of soft fruit. This was really, really useful to help with your rationing. Food rationing hit the country really, really badly during wartime. Imagine only being allowed 2 or 3 sweets a week, 3 ounces of butter or margarine or cheese. You'd probably use that in one sandwich nowadays, but those days you couldn't. So you had to be more inventive with the food that you did have and to make it last longer and go further. One thing that they used a lot of to sweeten food was carrots. There was a campaign, Dr. Carrot was on lots of advertising hoardings everywhere you looked to show you different ways of using carrots. For example, in the summer, you could have a frozen carrot on a stick instead of an ice lolly. Might not sound appealing to you nowadays, but then again, if that was the only option, you'd love it. Carrots were supposed to make you see in the dark, which was another good thing. Again, I don't know whether they did, but who knows? And also, they were used to sweeten food. That might sound a bit strange, but have you ever eaten carrot cake? That's made with carrots. We're going to go now and see Nikki in the kitchen and see what she's doing with carrots.
Hi Nikki, I'm just on my way back from the farm. I've got your carrots you asked for.
Great.
I've actually grated them ready for you, and my ration of sugar for this week as well. I thought you might
brilliant.
need
Thank
that.
you.
And there's sorry.
Oh, yeah, we need that. That's important.
That's sticky. Sorry about that. Thanks. See you
Thanks.
later.
I'll pop you some
Bye.
round after.
Yes.
Hiya, so welcome to my kitchen. So what we're doing today is going to make some carrot cookies. You only need about 4 ingredients for this, so it's really, really easy. In the bowl, I don't know if you can see, but all I've done, I've creamed up 1 tablespoon of butter. This is a tablespoon. And rather than using these complicated weighing scales, all you need is a spoon. So, tablespoon of butter, cream it up, and then what you're going to do, you add 2 tablespoons of sugar that Karen kindly brought me because it's so scarce these days. You have to be really careful with the amount that we use. So I'll pop that in. I'm going to mix up the butter and the sugar together till it goes creamy. Okay, just take a second. It's easier in a nice big bowl because then you can really get your arm going. Okay, so if you mix that until it goes nice and soft. And then what we're going to do, you're going to add 4 tablespoons of carrot, which Karen's already grated for me, which is brilliant because I don't like doing that bit. It takes a long time. There we go. So we're going to mix that into the butter and the sugar. Give that a really good mix. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a tablespoon of water, and that just loosens off the mixture. So that should really start binding together now. So good mix. Right, and then once that's mixed in a little bit, still a little bit there, scrape that off a bit. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of self-raising flour. Okay. You can use plain flour, but you need to put a teaspoon of baking powder in it. So it's much easier if you've already got the self-raising. That just helps your cookies to rise a little bit. I'm just going to tip that in the bowl. There we go. So, and then all you have to do is you have to mix all that together. Now, if it's a little bit dry, all you have to do is add a little bit more water. Whereas if it was a little bit wet, what you do is add a little bit more flour. Okay, so try and mix all that together. Right, so, and then all you do is you get your spoon like this. Once it's all mixed together and it's nice and creamy, you get your spoon and you just put a blob on a baking tray. So this makes about 6 big cookies, or you can make 12 little ones. Okay, it's so cold in here, it's not good. What I'm going to do, I've already got some that I've made in the oven, so I think they're probably ready. Oh, they look good. There we go. Wow, look at them. They look lovely. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put these in a bowl. I'm going to take these around to Karen because she gave me a sugar ration earlier. And then I'll make some more for little Billy for when he comes back from school. Okay, so hope you enjoy yours. If you have any trouble, just make sure you've got an adult there with you so that they can open the oven and things like that for you. But all the ingredients and everything will be on the website for you. Okay, so have a very lovely Christmas and enjoy your carrot cookies. Hi, Karen.
Oh, hi, Nikki.
Hey, yeah, just want to say thanks for the sugar. I've made you some carrot
Oh,
cookies.
you little star. Thank you. So, oh, they look delicious. Thank you.
Shall I go put the kettle on?
Yeah, we'll have them with a cup of tea in a minute. Thank you, Nikki. That's great. Hi. I've just finished my shift on the farm, and I thought I'd come home and finish my tree off. I hope you love it. I spent all last night making those paper chains, and now I'm about to make an angel to go on the top. So I'm just going to show you how I made this one. So I used a plate to draw around, just so we get a nice circle. Well, it's not actually a circle. I've got a wavy circle, gone a bit posh, but you can just use a normal plate if you want to. And then we're going to cut round the thing like this. So if you can see that. Facing the right way for you to see. We'll do a quick cut round of that, and this is going to make the skirt for the angel, or the dress really, and also her wings. And now it looks a bit boring, doesn't it, because it's all white, but wait till I show you the other side of it. A quick cut, and then we're going to cut across the middle, so it's really easy. Don't worry if you don't hit the line exactly. And now we've got some nice sparkly, it's actually card, so it's nice and stiff. And we're going to wrap that round the peg. We'll have the peg in the middle, and there's a skirt, and then it's dead easy because this bit is going to be her wings. So you can see once she's got a skirt, I'm just going to hold it. I'm not going to glue it. It's going to take too long to do that. I'm doing a blue Peter and here's one I prepared earlier. Ta-da! There we are. There's the wings. And then all you need after that is for her halo. So we've got a bit of sparkly pipe cleaner, which we're going to wrap round. Just do a little crossover on it. You can see that. Got a little halo, and that pops on top of her head. And we can glue that in place, and then put the dress on, and then put the wings on, put some smiley face on it, make it look pretty. And with so that's that one made. With this one, I used a napkin with some sparkles on it already, and just made a bit more of a floaty dress. And I just shaped wings a bit more and used a bit of tin foil. So use what you've got available. Because it is wartime, remember, and it's just about using make, do and mend with everything. We can't go out to the shops and buy special things, so we've got to do what we can with what we've got, really. And then I thought, as well as doing this today, I have been doing a bit of knitting because I'm knitting a jumper for my nephew for Christmas. He's going to be really thrilled with that. But I thought for the younger children, I might do some little bracelets or hair braids for them. And this is what we're going to do. So you're going to have a go at this yourselves. So it's a bit of weaving, really. I don't know if you can see that. And all you need is the disc. We're going to cut that disc out, and we're going to cut the slits into it. I'll do that quickly. So quick cut around the circle. I've already done the hole in the middle to save time, so just pushed a pencil through there, and there's going to be 8 slits. But on top of this, you're going to need 7 different coloured threads. Wool is fine. Wool's good actually because it's nice and thick to make a really good chain. So we do that, and then as you can see, here's one that I started early. So what you do is you knot your 7 threads together, and you push it through that hole there, and have it knotted in there. And then you're going to have, because there's 8 holes, you're going to have one of the slits, look, that hasn't got anything in it. And what you're going to do, you're going to have the slit pointing towards you, and you're going to count 3. 1, 2, 3 to your right. Pull that one out, and then pop it in the slit that's empty. Move it round again. So it's much easier if you always have that slit that's empty pointing towards you. Count 3 round to the right again. Pull that one out and push it round. One more time. Pointing to you. 1, 2, 3. Pull that one out. Pop it round. Can't get hold of that one. Pop it round. And then every now and again, you just need to pull on the bit in the middle. And as you can see, the chain's just getting that little bit longer. So that'd be good. And I don't know what you want to use these for. Like I said, you can do it as a hair braid or a lovely friendship bracelet. That works well. You can make them into whatever you fancy. So that's that done. If that seems a bit too complicated for you and you'd rather just do a bit of finger knitting, I bought some of that as well. It's in this beautiful red. So let me just show you this, get to the end of it. And all that is a loop over this finger if you're right-handed, obviously the other hand if you're left. And all you do is wrap that round once, hold on tight so you've got it held there, pop that over the top, and then just tighten it up. And you just keep doing that until you end up with a lovely, it's just as effective, it's just not as many colours. So I hope you enjoy making these things. There's lots of other things you can use. Obviously, I'm sure at school you'll have lots of different bits and bobs that you can add to your angels to make them a bit prettier. Stickers and all sorts of things. So enjoy. Lovely to see you all. Bye.
At the very beginning of the war, the government had already decided that should the worst happen, what they would do would be to evacuate all the children from the bigger cities that were at danger out to the countryside. This was called Operation Pied Piper, and over 2 million children were evacuated in this way. The countryside was the favoured place for these children to be sent. Here in Lincolnshire, we will have had quite a few evacuees come to stay. And these safe places were called reception zones. Now, this is Bert. Our Bert was in London. He used to live in London. And obviously London was a huge target for Hitler. Can you think why London would be such a big target? Yeah, London was our capital city, and obviously there's a lot of important buildings and a lot of important people that live in London. The royal family, the government, for example. So London was a huge target for the Germans. You'll probably have learned about the Blitz in school. Other big cities, such as Coventry, where they made lots of munitions for the war effort, they made aeroplane engines and they made vehicles. They were a big target. And also Liverpool, places like Liverpool that were docks. So that would receive our supply ships. They were obviously targets as well. So children from those places would have been evacuated, just like our Bert here. They would have been told that they were going to go on a holiday, that they were to pack their little suitcase and they were going to go away with all of the children in their class and their teacher. So on that particular morning, Bert packed his little suitcase, making sure he had his gas mask, which was really important. You went nowhere without your gas mask. You even took your gas mask to bed with you, just in case the worst should ever happen. And his ration book, we'll talk about rationing in a moment, but without his ration book, whoever took him in would not have been able to feed him properly. So ration book and gas mask were really important. So perhaps he put in a few other little things into his suitcase. If he had a suitcase, some children didn't have suitcases. They would just use brown paper parcel wrapped up with string to put their clothes in. Perhaps have a change of clothes, maybe a book, maybe a favourite cuddly toy. If he had a picture of his family, he would take that with him. Put it in his suitcase and off he'd go. So that particular morning, Bert got up, his mum got him ready, took him down to the train station where he met his teacher, and she ticked him off the list, put him on the train. He was very excited, as you can imagine. The thing was, he didn't know where he was going. He didn't know how long he was going to be there for. He didn't know who he was going to stay with. Couldn't understand why his mum was crying, because he was very excited about this prospect. How do you think you would feel? Would you be excited like Bert? I think a lot of children were excited, but a lot of children were very nervous and a little bit upset about leaving their mum behind. Dad was probably already away fighting in the war, so it was mainly mums that they were leaving behind. But no, off they went. When they arrived at their reception zone, they were met by a committee of people and lots of ladies willing to take them in and take them home with them. Most children that were evacuated had a great time, especially those that were evacuated onto a farm, because they had plenty of extra food and didn't have to rely on their rations for everything. A few children, even at the end of the war, had such a good time that their families came out and they settled in the reception zone where they'd spent the wartime. But even those that weren't so happy, at least they were safe. They were free from the bombing that was hitting the rest of the country and perhaps where they used to live. So they were safe and they had a great time. Rationing was brought in during 1940 in January as a way of sharing what there was available. Hitler had started bombing our supply ships, thinking that if he could bomb them and so we would not have any food coming in, that we would surrender, but we didn't do that because we're better than that, because we're made of British spirit. Luckily, lessons had already been learnt during World War I, which was just a few years earlier, about how to share and make the most of what we had. Ration books were introduced. Everybody had a ration book, every adult, every child. You had a ration book for your food and also a ration book for your clothing. Clothes rationing was brought in first. People had to make the most of what there was around them and used to use very strange materials to make clothes with and adapt clothes to fit them. So if you were a younger brother or sister, clothes would be passed down to you. Clothes would be bought for the oldest child and then passed down. So trousers would have been altered to become shorts or even a skirt. Parachute material from broken or damaged parachutes was actually made from silk and was very, very desirable. For things such as this beautiful wedding dress here, this was made from parachute silk and was actually worn by a bride during World War II. Blackout material was easily accessible and that was used to make clothing as well. The government then brought in the Make Do and Mend campaign, which was, as it said, make do with what you have and mend it. People would sew, they learnt to knit. Everybody learnt to knit. This is a knitting pattern from the time. And as you can see from the pictures here, everybody, both male and female, from the granddad right down to the little child here, learnt to knit. You'd knit mittens and cosy socks to send to your dad or your brother who was fighting at the front, and you'd knit clothes for yourselves and for your family, or you might have done some finger knitting at some point, and that would be one of the things that you could do. You see in here there are plenty of patterns around, so ladies, usually ladies because they were the ones left at home, would be able to make beautiful clothes and adapt them to fit yourself by unpicking old clothes, reusing the material, perhaps to make clothes for your children if you were the mum. Sewing machines down here, these were what they would use. I don't know whether any of you have got a sewing machine at home, but they probably look very different to that. But they were invaluable during this time so that people could carry on and just make do and mend with what they had.
Hi, my name's Hayley and I'm Julie and we're both from Streatbeat and we are going to do some wartime dancing with you today. It's going to be just a little bit of flavour of the wartime, a little bit of fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to teach you a whole routine, but we're going to break it down into sections, so we'll learn a little bit at a time and we'll practice, and then by the end of the session we'll have a whole routine. So if you just want to get ready and we'll make a start on the routine.
So now we're going to start the first section of the routine. So making sure that you've got a nice space around you. We're going to step forward on your right foot, taking your feet wide. So you're going to go out right, left, and then back. Right, left. Let's do that again. Right, left, so right, left. So at the same time, we're going to swing our arms a little bit. We can have a little bit of a click if you want to. So we're going to step out to do that. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to do a little step to the side. Step, join, and back the other way. Step, join, join. So let's put those two sections together. So we're ready. Let's go. Go forward and back. And again, forward and add that little step to the side. Step, join, step, and back the other way to the left. Join, step, join. Let's do that once more. Ready. Let's go. Step, out and back. Step out, step to the side, step tap, and back to the left, step tap. And then now we're going to do a little gallop to the side, so we're going to add this on. So we're going to do a little side gallop, taking our arms out, little gallop, and then we go behind. A little rock behind as we do that here. And again, gallop, rock back, and gallop, rock back. Okay, so that's two parts of this routine put together. So let's start again and add that all together. So stepping forward on your right leg, are we ready? Let's go. Forward and back. And again, forward and step tap to the side, arms pushing up overhead and back the other way. And then back to the forward step, forward and back. And forward and the side step, pushing arms up to the sky and back the other way. Ready for those little gallops to the side. Ready? Let's gallop, gallop, rock back. And again, so we do this 4 times. 3 and 1 last time. So that's your first section. I'm now going to put the music on and have a little go all together with the music. So now we're going to put it all together with the music, and so we're going to do the forward steps and the side steps all together. Are we ready? Ready? Let's go. So we're going to go forward and back, and again. Side step, pushing it up, and the other way. Do that again, forward and back. And side step. I'm sure this is brilliant. Gallop to the side. So we've got 4 of these. This is 2. And 2 more. Okay, that's brilliant. So let's try that again. So all the way right from the beginning, from stepping forward into our little V step. Are we ready? Let's go. Forward and back. Side step, pushing your arms up really high here, so stretching up. And repeat that section. And side. And we're going to go into our little gallop step. So we've got 4 side gallops. So big arms out to the side, 2 more. Brilliant. So if you want to take a little bit more time to practice those steps together, then feel free, pause the video now and practice with your teachers.
So now you've practiced that first section, we'll get ready to move on to the second section. So we're going to start, first of all we're going to start kicking out our right leg, and then we're going to swap, and then we're going to swap, but this time we've got a little 2 kicks. Then we go again, kick, kick, and a double kick. 2 more of those, kick, kick, double, kick, and the last one, kick, kick, double, kick. So depending on how jumpy you want to make that, it is quite fast, but put as much effort into that as you like. We're going to then also put an arm in. So again, these are optional. If the arms are too confusing, you don't need to do them. But as we kick the leg out, the arm's going to go out. Then we swap. Then we've got a double kick and a single, single and a double kick. And again, last 2 sets and a double and one more double. So, like I said, that does come a little bit quicker. So should we try it a little bit faster? So ready, here we go. And a single, single, double kick and a single, single, double, single, single, double, one more. Right, so if we leave this leg out, we're ready to do the next step. So we're going to step onto it. I'm going to touch the leg forward, step back. So it's a little bit like a Charleston step, forward, step, back. And you can relax those arms and swing them as you go. We're then going to walk round and the arms are going to go up in the air, up, 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 up. Good. So we will then repeat that. So we step forward, forward, back, so forward with the left and back and walk round. Nice little circle round yourself. And then one more. Forward, touch, and forward. But this time, all we'll do is just face. Now, if you're on my side of the room, you will face this way. And if you're on Julie's side of the room, you'll face Julie. So if you can get the room in a nice half.
If teachers want to split the room, that'd be great. So Hayley's half and my half.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's have a look at that. And let's say if we put it all together, so we'll do it slowly again. So ready, so you've done the first section, so you'll have finished your gallop here with this ball change, and we're going to kick and kick, kick, double kick, and a kick, kick, double kick, and a kick, kick, double. One more set. Now get ready, step forward, touch, and again, and walk around, arms up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, step forward and back, walk round, and one more set of the stepping forward, and then get ready to face the middle, okay? So what we'll do is, you can either practice that for a little bit, and then we'll get ready, we'll put the music on. So we've got the music on now, and we're now just going to practice that second section, and then we will join them together. So we're going to get ready to kick this left leg. And kick, kick, double kick, 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 double. And again. Step forward. And that's it, get ready to walk round. And step forward again. And walk round. So remember this time it's just the walking forward. Step forward, one more, now face into the middle of the room. Good. Right, let's try that once more because it is quite a quick step. So get ready. Kick with this leg. 5, 6, 7, and single, single. Good. Step forward. And walking round. 5, 6, 7, step forward. And round we go again. And the last step forward. And get ready to face your partner.
That's brilliant. So hopefully you've got that section. So we're going to go all the way from the beginning, do the section that I did, starting with your stepping forward, adding on Hayley's section. So are we ready to do that? Forward, forward, back, back. You ready? Let's go. And your step taps aside. And back. Back to move forward, step towards. and side step. So we're going to have that little gallop 4 times. Gallop to so. And twice more, ready to go into Hayley's section. Last one.
Get ready and kick it. And double. Good. It's quite fast. Step forward. And walking round. And step forward again. And round. So last, stepping forward. And face your partner.
So that's brilliant. So hopefully you've got that. If you haven't, pause the video now and practice with your teachers until you feel that you're comfortable to move on. So hopefully you've mastered that first section. If not, just practice a little bit longer, that's fine, and rejoin us when you're ready. This next section has quite a little complicated step in it. So before we actually go on to the main body of this section, we're going to break down this step. I'm going to face the front and Hayley is going to face the back, just so that you've got an option to see both what we're doing, whether you're looking at me and you want to learn that way, or you want to actually learn it the way that you're doing it. Okay, so we're going to step forward on our left leg, and we're going to cross our right leg over, and then we're going to step back, back. So both feet come back there, okay? So let's try that again. So we go step forward, across, step back, back. So that's all we need to think about. Don't try and think about where your feet are going, just think about stepping forward on your left leg, a quick crossover, and then we get 2 steps back, back. Okay, so let's try that once more. Forward, across, back, and again, forward, across, back, and join. So if you want to stop the video now and practice that step just on its own, that's absolutely fine. If not, we're going to carry on from the moment where we just finished the last section where we jumped to face each other, or stepped to face each other. So half of the room, as Hayley said, will be facing where Hayley is and half as I am. Okay, at this point we're going to imagine that we'll be working as a couple dancing. Okay, so we're going to put our hands up and out. So at this point your arms open up from in front and overhead. Then we're going to step forward, so you step towards us, step, tap, and back tap. Okay, so let's do it again. So we go up and out, step, tap, back, tap. And we're going to have a little jump and take our hands to our knees. So you would be facing your partner here. And then we're going to step out. So if you're on my side of the room, we're going to go this way. Okay, and then we're going to come back in again. And then step out. Okay, so let's put that together. So we've just joined after the forward taps that Hayley did. We're going to put hands up and out. Step forward, twist and tap, back, tap. Jump down, out. Jump down, out. So let's try that a little bit faster. So ready, go. Up, out. Step, tap, step, tap. Down, out, down, out. Okay? When we're here, this is where we're going to do that little funny step that we just did a minute ago that we practiced on its own. So from this position, you're going to step out on your left leg, step, cross, back, back, and again, step, cross, back, back. And then we jump back into each other, we repeat this. In, out, again, in, out, and then that crossing over step, left leg forward, quick back, left leg forward, cross, step back. So let's put that whole section together. There's quite a lot going on in this section, so it doesn't matter if we need to practice a little bit. So we're going to start where we face each other. Ready, hands go up and open. Step forward, back, jump down, open it out, jump down. Crossing it over in front, left, across, go back, join. And again, and then jump in again. This repeats this whole section. In and out, and crossing over step, cross, back, back, cross, back, back. Let's try that once more. So let's do it the time it's going to be with the music, and then you'll be able to practice a little bit if you want to. Ready? Hands go up, out, step, tap, down, take it out, back in, crossing over step, forward, cross, back, back, forward, across and back into the centre, face your partner as it would be, and crossing over. Brilliant. So feel free to pause the video at this moment and practice that as much as you want to, and then rejoin us and we'll have a go with the music. So now we're going to practice that section, just like so, that little section with the quick feet, with the bit we'll just practice facing each other. Ready? Hands up, out, step forward, down to your knees, open it out, and again, crossing over step, back down to our knees, out, knees, crossing over step. Brilliant. Let's practice that once more. Ready? Arms and out. Up, step forward. Jumping down to our knees. Big wide open out. Crossing over step. Back down to our knees, face centre. Crossing over step. Brilliant. So, start the music in the right place and we'll add it all on from the beginning. So now hopefully you've had a good practice at all the steps that we've been learning, and we're going to put everything together right from the beginning, from my stepping forward and back right to the last section we've just done. Are we ready? Let's go. Forward. Side step to the side, press your arms up. And let's do that whole section again there. And step to the side, press up. Gallop into the side. 2 more. We're ready to go on to Haley's little section with the kicks.
Ready, kick, single, single, double. And again. Last one. And step forward. Walking round. Stepping forward. And round we go. Last stepping forward and get ready because you are going to face your partners. Here we go.
Last section. Hands up. Out. Step forward. Jump to your knees. Take it out. Ready for our crossing over step, the little complicated step. Back to our knees. And crossing it over. That's brilliant. If you want to stop the video now, practice that as much as you want until you feel that you're confident to move on to the next section.
Great, so hopefully you've been practicing where you're feeling quite confident with those sections now. So we've just got our last section to learn. So it's got a little bit of a turn in, so obviously be careful, be aware of your space. So to help, Julie will face the back at this point and I will stay facing. So we are all going to go in the same direction. So we're going to do what we call an open turn. So we're going to step out, 1, 2, 3, 4. And while this leg's pointing out here, it's going to tap forward, back, and then we're going to turn back the way we came. So stepping onto that leg, so we turn 1, 2, 3, 4, tap forward, back. Brilliant. So let's try that again. So we've finished our shadow walk, our crossover step, and we're going to do our open turn. Off we go. So we go 1, 2, 3, point, forward, back, and then back the way we came from. And forward, back. Good, okay. So let's see if we try that once more. Ready, round we go, and go. Round, 2, 3, 4. Forward, back, and round. 2, 3, 4, forward, back. So we're going to put that foot down, bring the arms down, and we're going to do big arms over, and then the other side. And once again, and last time. Good, and then that is the end of your sequence. So let's put that all together. So off we go, round we go, and turn, 2, 3, 4, forward, back, and turn, 2, 3, 4, forward, back, and push, reaching up, and again. Good. Right, so you can pause us while you practice that, and then we'll come back with some music. So, we're just going to practice that last section with the music. Here we go. And turn. And leg forward and back. Back we go. And get ready to push those arms up. Good. One last time. Here we go. Let's turn. Point, forward and back. Back we go. And reaching up those arms, up. Good. Okay, so hopefully you've practiced that, and we're now going to do the whole thing right from the beginning. Just once through to make sure that everybody is comfortable with all the steps. So right from my beginning step, stepping forward, ready, and side step, and back. And let's repeat that. Side step. Gallop 4 times. And we're going to Hayley's section with the little kicks. And kick, double. And again. Last one. Step forward. And walk round. Step forward. And round we go. And step forward, last time. And get ready for your partner. So hands up and out. Step forward and back. Go to your knees, take it out. Are we ready for that quick crossing over step? And back to your knees. Crossing over step. Ready to go to turn. And turning around. Pointing, forward, back. Turn back. And pointing. Get ready to reach up. Good. Well done, guys. So if you want to stop and pause the video there and practice that as much as you like, we're going to come back and we're going to do the whole routine twice through. So hopefully you've been very busy practicing that and you're feeling really confident about your steps. So what we will do is we will do the routine just as you've just practiced all the way through, and then we will do it again. There's a couple of little things we need to think about when we do the repeat. So this section where you go forward, tap and back, tap, and you walk round, we will do that twice, only twice. So we won't start this third bit, so we only get twice. So think second time round, only 2 forward and back sections. And then just to give you a big dramatic finale finish, so when we do our turns at the very end here, so we've done our shadow walk, our crossover step here. We will just finish it by doing a turn this way, no forward and back pointing, straight back with a turn here, and that's your big finish. Okay, so that's just the second time through, but we'll remind you when you get there. So if you get yourselves ready, we'll put the music on and we'll do the whole routine. So you've practiced the routine, you know all the steps. We're going to do the whole dance, the whole piece of music right the way through twice, beginning to end. Loads of excitement, really enjoy it. Are we ready? Step forward. Let's go. Step into the side, arms stretched up. And repeat that section. Step into the side. 4 gallop steps. So we're going to repeat this before we move on to Hayley's fast kicking section. Ready? Here we go. And single. double, single. One more. Step forward. Round we go, hands up. Keep smiling. Step forward. Doing a great job. Round we go. Last stepping forward.
So we're going into that little complicated section.
Partners.
Together. Step forward and back. Hands to knees. Open it out. And again. Crossing over step. Taking it back down to our knees. Big wide step. Crossing it over. Aim to the turn.
And turning. Point forward and back. And turning back. Get ready, reach the arms up.
Are we ready to start again? Ready? Begin it. Let's go. Forward and back. So let's repeat it all, guys. Step to the side. Forward and back. And again. Step into the side. Gallop. 2 more of these before Hayley's quick beat section.
Here we go. Kick and singles and double. Are you
Nice
smiling? Last one and step forward. Round we go. Arms up. And stepping forward. So remember, after this walk, get ready to face what would be your partner.
Stepping forward and back. Hands to your knees. Open out. Big wide stretch. Crossing over step. Nearly then, guys. Hands to knees. Like this, children. Crossing over step. Into just those 2 turns. No taps. So
Big
turn.
finish. And back again. Get ready, big smiles. Woo! Well done, guys.
Well done.
So well done, guys. You've worked so hard, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. It's such a pleasure for Streatbeat and come and work with Wartime Christmas each year. But give yourselves a round of applause. Well done.
Well done.
Okay, so this is the story we're going to be reading. It's by a lady called Hilary Robinson. She wrote the words, and Martin Impey did the illustrations, which are absolutely beautiful. If you get the chance to have a look at this book, if you've got it in your school library or you can borrow it or even buy it, it's well worth it, because the stories, the pictures tell a whole different story to the one that I'm going to read to you now. Lots and lots of additional information that you can find from there. Really good. So this is a fictional book, fictional story about something that actually happened. And it was on Christmas Day in 1914 during World War I. The two opposing armies, the British and the Germans, actually laid down their arms on the actual battlefield. And we're going to find out why in this story. So you have the Germans on one side, and you'll be able to see which is which. If you look at the uniform, you'll be able to tell which are British guys and which the Germans are. And they're either side of a strip of land which was called No Man's Land. So we'll read the story. Beautiful, beautiful illustrations in this book, well worth a copy. This is the place where peace was found. This is the moon shining bright that lit up the place where peace was found. If you've picked up anything about the way this is written, that's really good, and you can join in. These are the soldiers watching by night under the moon shining bright that lit up the place where peace was found. This is Carl and his best friend Lars, who sang Silent Night under the stars to enemy soldiers watching by night under the moon shining bright that lit up the place where peace was found. This is Ray and his best friend Ben, two of the soldiers who listened when Carl stood up with his friend Lars and sang Silent Night Under the Stars to enemy soldiers, watching by night under the moon shining bright that lit up the place where peace was found. These are the men who held out a hand, a sign of peace in no man's land, to men like Ray and his friend Ben, two of the soldiers who listened when Carl stood up with his friend Lars and sang Silent Night Under the Stars to enemy soldiers, watching by night under the moon shining bright that lit up the place where peace was found. These are the bells that started to chime when friends were made at Christmas time, when enemy soldiers held out a hand, a sign of peace in no man's land, peace for men like Ray and Ben, two of the soldiers who listened when Carl stood up with his friend Lars and sang Silent Night Under the Stars to enemy soldiers, watching by night under the moon shining bright that lit up the place where peace was found. This is the football match that was played as over the hills evergreen swayed to echoes of bells that started to chime when friends were made at Christmas time, when enemy soldiers held out a hand, a sign of peace in no man's land, peace for men like Ray and Ben, two of the soldiers who listened when Carl stood up with his friend Lars and sang Silent Night Under the Stars to enemy soldiers, watching by night under the moon shining bright that lit up the place where peace was found. This is the dove that flew above, a symbol of enduring love, who honoured the place the match was played, as over the hills evergreen swayed to echoes of bells that started to chime when friends were made at Christmas time, when enemy soldiers held out a hand, a sign of peace in no man's land, peace for men like Ray and Ben, two of the soldiers who listened when Carl stood up with his friend Lars and sang Silent Night Under the Stars to enemy soldiers, watching by night under the moon shining bright that lit up the place where peace was found. This is the gift the dove dropped. This is the olive branch that was dropped on Christmas Day when fighting stopped, dropped by a dove flying above, a symbol of enduring love, who honoured the place the match was played, as over the hills evergreen swayed to echoes of bells that started to chime when friends were made at Christmas time, when enemy soldiers held out a hand, a sign of peace in no man's land, peace for men like Ray and Ben, two of the soldiers who listened when Carl stood up with his friend Lars and sang Silent Night Under the Stars to enemy soldiers, watching by night under the moon shining bright that lit up the place that Christmas Day where peace was found. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope perhaps this Christmas Day when you're enjoying all your celebrations that you perhaps think about those soldiers that were fighting for your freedom way back in World War I and in World War II. Well, that's it. We hope that you enjoyed our little virtual wartime Christmas session and managed to join in with some of the activities. Let us know how you got on. I hope you learnt something new that you didn't know before, but most of all, we hope you had fun with it. It's very different doing it this way for us, but at least we got to do it. Let us know how you got on. Our email address is investigateaviation, that's all one word, at lincolnshire.gov.uk. We'd love to see some pictures of what you made or your thoughts, what you liked, what you didn't like.
And we'd just like to say a big thank you to the Lincolnshire Aviation Heritage Centre at East Kirkby for allowing us to use their sets and things today. Thank you ever so much, and we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, have a very, very happy Christmas, everyone, and hopefully we'll see you again in 2021 in real life. Bye.
Bye. Bye.